I mean, this is a hot take, I'm sure,
Go
but
for
I
it.
feel like as a fan of Star Wars that started in the mid '90s, I have not gotten a fulfilling experience of Luke, and let me tell you why. Because Luke in 4, 5, and 6 comes off. If you were to go back in 4, 5, and 6, he is not among the coolest characters. Like it's Han, Chewie, Boba Fett, Vader. Right? Like he is not. I don't think he is viewed. If you were to ask everyone who their favorite character was now, it would not be Luke. And
Not
then
in
in
4 and 5.
exactly like he's and then if you go to 7, 8, and 9, I don't know if it's Mark Hamill, and I don't know what it was, but it did not vibe the old Jedi Master Luke. Just I didn't enjoy it at all. Like I personally did not like like what they were trying to make him, which is now like a master. There's a large section that is of the coolest parts of Luke that we never get to see in live action. Honestly, the best piece of Luke lore I've ever seen or gotten is his book that takes place, I believe, after 4 and between 5. And I can't remember the name of it. It was one of the first Disney novels I read, but I just remember it being like the most like
You need to read Shadow of the Sith.
Yeah.
where does that one take place?
It's in between 6
It's
and
after
9.
6, and it's way before 7. It's
So-
closer to when you find him in Mando.
Okay.
That
So
whole
then-
scene of him and Grogu, and then
Yeah.
like making the or I guess Boba Fett, and it's that Mando season
It's-
2.5.
So you will learn. I'll give you this because it's very early in the book and it doesn't give anything away. Luke interacted with Rey's parents at one point.
That's awesome. I like how they did
So more Luke stories from that era are now going to start pouring out because that's really the only time period we have to like have any meaningful interaction with Luke. I think they're going to bring Mara Jade back, and that's going to add to Luke's anger and why he's such a curmudgeon asshole when we meet him again. Is something's going to happen to her, and she's going to either leave him or die or something, and it's going to take him to a dark place, which is how he ends up on Octo.
I just think he's a character that was, obviously the highlight of 4, 5, and 6, and even a very important character in 8, I guess. It's unfortunate because I think that he won't get enough or until he gets like his own like live series thing, because like the books are awesome because you get to use like they fill in so much, like so many dots, right? But like like when he gets his own show, like which I'm sure will be coming like in the next little while. It's just like something, I don't know, I just feel like I haven't had a fulfilling experience with Luke Skywalker, and he was like the guy early in the like when I became a kid, when I became a fan.
I agree with you 100%. I think Luke finally comes into his own in episode 8. I think Luke, you finally see the full picture of Luke Skywalker at the end of 8, when he finally comes to peace with everything and he understands like my journey really isn't over and I'm just going on to my next thing. When you see that acceptance and he kind of just becomes one with the Force, like that's a beautiful way to end Luke's. Well, not really. Like it's a beautiful way to close off that chapter for Luke.
Yes. Yeah. Closing it off. Yes.
Yeah, I will say Shadows of the Sith give a completely different picture painted to Luke Skywalker. Like he is portrayed in a completely different light than he is in 4, 5, and 6 in the movies. He's not the whiny, bitchy Skywalker.
That's exactly why I love that
right?
book too.
He's not like the whiny Skywalker like his dad was in episode 2 and 3. He's like, I just want to go fight the Empire. It's not that anymore. You can tell like there's so much between the end of 6 when the Death Star blows up and the destruction of Luke's temple. There's a lot there. There's a big gap in time, and they're starting to paint that picture. They do it in Shadows of the Sith. We get a nice picture of it with Boba Fett and Mando and Ahsoka, and they're all there and happy. So like they're giving us like little nods to Luke Skywalker. I just don't think that we're really going to get a show.
That's what I'm saying.
To your point, Cam, I don't think he has enough weight to carry a show. I think they're going to continue using him as an ancillary character, and he just kind of shows up every once in a while. Him, Boba Fett, Mando, and Ahsoka are now able to kind of just like transcend the barriers of shows,
sprinkling on top of each
and
other,
kind of just like walk into the group whenever they feel like it, because it keeps people hooked. When you can bring Mark Hamill back as Luke Skywalker, de-age him, make him slender, but he's still able to do all the mannerisms and actually give the tonal inflections and everything else of how Luke Skywalker behave. Oh my God, that's so fucking cool. But Mark Hamill doesn't have the ability to carry a show.
No, I agree. Like and like up until, because I remember waiting even when all the new shows and whatnot came out. Like the end of Mandalorian, you got like the Darth Vader Rogue One scene. Like there is not like he's cool.
Was the inverse of it. It was so awesome.
Yeah, he's cool in the movie, like in 4, 5, and 6. Like he is cool, but there is so little force in the Jedi being used, which is what I think is just so weird about 4, 5, and 6. And like Luke, he is like obviously the protagonist, but he just doesn't get enough of like much like what Vader had. Vader now you see like in the movies he's technically just like like a henchman,
he's an attack dog.
Exactly, and you see how vicious he is in all the shows and lore before it now because they're showing you what he's like, right?
And the world embraced him as the cool villain, and they were like, oh, Vader's fun, Vader's cool. And then Lucas was like, no, I don't want you to think of him that way. So he had him slaughter children in episode 3, and everyone was like, all right, that's dark. And now they're bringing that even more to the forefront by showing you how Rogue One was the next step, Obi-Wan was the next step. Like they're really showing you how awful he is as a person, and struggles with his demons because he does have redeeming qualities.
Did you watch the return of, or what was the behind the scenes for Obi-Wan?
The gallery.
I forgot how
I'm watching it this weekend.
They call it something else. It's like Return of the Jedi or
the light. It's light work or light. I remember Return. I think
they just released it with Disney Plus Day.
Yep.
Anyways, I want to go to the piece of when they were interviewing Christian. Right? No.
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. Holy, I always do that. I always want him to be Christian Hayden.
Christensen. Yeah.
Anyways, when they're interviewing Hayden, he's like, I really wanted to bring this character. Like he talks about how he wanted to bring this character to life and do it again. But he talks about how like is Anakin, like the whole idea of like Anakin's dead. And he even says, he's like George always said that there's always a bit of Anakin in Vader. Always. He's like, there's always that struggle of light and dark. It's not gone indefinitely because if it was gone when Luke says, I sense the good in you, Father, it's like, it's still there. Like Anakin is still alive. He's still there. And I think they're going to do a better job of showcasing that because like I keep on saying that like I think Darth Vader is going to end up being turned into like an anti-hero. I think the way that they really want to humanize this character and showcase that like he really is more, there is more to the man than there is just machine. It's like when the line where Obi-Wan's like more machine than man now. Like I disagree. I think there's still a lot of man in there and he struggles. And he's living with the weight of all of the bad decisions that he made. And he doesn't feel like there's a way to escape it.
Well, his core values. The reason
why I say that is because like they continue to develop this character of him trying to figure out, like they go back to the My New Empire. Mm-hmm. Like he always wants to try. Like I feel like he's constantly trying to make up for what happened at the end of episode 3.